Welcome, one and all, to my 1,600 subscribers / graduating from college / ask questions, get answers spectacular. I'm your host, Alexander Frost, and the game we'll be playing today while I attempt to answer these questions in no particular order. Come on. Pregnant pause much? Earth Defense Force 2025! Unlike last week's random week, I actually have a better control of the control scheme. I figured I'd put another version of this video up just so you guys could actually see that I'm actually pretty good at the game, believe it or not, that I'm not sucking ass. And look, we're using the Wamble file. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I fixed it. I'm pretty sure I got the controls set the way they're supposed to be. If not, I can fix that. Not much of a problem there, not an issue. Hello, Wamble. Now let me check the game settings. That's not game settings. Yeah, it is. Scroll down, change controls. Technical! Yes. This is what I wanted. You know, I'm actually tempted to, just for a lark, take a Lancer instead. Because a Lancer, actually, that's a good idea. I will take the Lancer instead, because the Lancer is heavier and slower, and will afford me more time to actually focus on what it is I need to do. So before we begin, Lancer, load. Let me see your there you go. See your bright and shining face. So I will go through all the weapons and everything. Let's see. I do not want that. I want the blast hole spear. And I do not want a deflection shield. The hell. No. Hold on, man. Gatling gun on the right. Blast hole spear on the left. Left hand. Do I have anything better? An artillery cannon. I have a missile launcher. Not exactly what I wanted, but you know what? We'll go with we'll go with that. And I actually don't have anything else, so fuck it. We'll go with that. And then just because I feel like it, we're gonna paint him pink. Nah, let's not be mean to him. We'll paint him green. We'll paint him green. I like green. More saturation. Nice dark green. There we go. The rest of him to match. That's much better. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Deploying. Select a mission.
Off we go on the first mission. We're gonna go kill stuff. So the first question comes from Wesker 00000, or perhaps those are supposed to be O's. First question is, what is the weirdest thing that has ever happened to you, like ghosts, boogeymen, etc., that you just could not explain? Well, one time when I was a teenager, I would say 15 or 16, so a good 15 years ago or so. My friend Mike and I were coming home. He was spending the night. We'd been out and about all day. And we didn't have a car at the time, so all we could do was walk around everywhere. So that's what we did. And we were walking home to my place. And Mike was a very instinctual person. He's into bushcraft, woodcraft, living off the land and all that. He's not a spiritual person, but he believes in the unusual, I guess you could say, the strange, and he believed in his instincts a lot. He very much had a feel for his instincts. So he believed that something was out there in the shadows watching us. Now, I have always been open to the idea of spirits, of unusual things, that things are out there lurking in the shadows that we don't know about or just can't explain or can't perceive. But I always wanted proof. So for a while I was a little skeptical. I was like, okay, whatever. But he was still nervous the entire time. And as he started getting nervous and more alert, I started getting more nervous and alert. And eventually, I got to the point where I thought there was something out there too. And when that happened, I started doing things like walking backwards, you know, keeping an eye on our sides and all that, and I was just freaking out, man. Wrong button. Why is circle? That's not right. So I was getting freaked out. And I could never explain it, but I thought something was out there. I don't know what it was. I don't know if something really was out there or not, but I believed something was out there, and it was scaring the holy hell out of me. Now, I know that ultimately, in the long run, we got home safe, because otherwise I wouldn't be here today. But something, I don't know. It's just an event I could not explain for the life of me. I did not know what it was. I couldn't explain it. I just don't know, man. But yes, that was an event that happened in my life that I just could not explain, that I could not understand. But maybe there was something out there. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm just crazy or was suffering from a moment of group delusion, if you will. But whatever the case was, that was one thing I just could not explain. Excuse me for a minute while I half focus here. I think we're good to kill all the bugs. Question 2. Are you going to become a YouTube partner? Well, I actually already am a YouTube partner. That's the reason why my videos are monetized. I can't monetize my videos if I'm not a YouTube partner. They kind of don't like that kind of stuff. Makes them feel like you're trying to put one over on them, you know? So yes, I am in fact a YouTube partner already. So thank you for asking. Question... I'm sorry, not question 2. The next set of questions comes from Impure Darkness. Question 1. What is your favorite game? I can't answer that. And it's not because I'm trying to be, you know, all clever and funny like, oh, I just can't answer that. I can't answer it because, for a logical reason, is that in order for me to tell you exactly what my favorite game is, one of two things would have to happen. A, I would have to wait until the end of my life, and in those few precious seconds before I bite the big one, I would have to look back and say, yep, that was my favorite game. Or, the other option, which is not terribly appealing either, would be to actually stop playing games right now, and then look back on all the games I played growing up and decide which one of them is my favorite. So, I'm sorry, I cannot give you an answer to that question. What I can do is tell you what some of my favorites are, believe it or not, and that is, well, simply put, everything I have played for this channel, with the exception of The Legend of Zelda, because that was a blind game, are among my favorites. I love every one of the games I have played. I have not played games for you guys that I have hated or loathed or anything like that. Every game I've played for you, I have loved to death. So, yeah. Look on my channel. Everything I've played, I have loved and considered to be among my favorites. Oh wait, don't switch to missiles yet. Boost down the street, then switch to missiles. Ha ha! Question 2, what is one of the most memorable experiences in gaming? Well, because of the way you worded it, I can't really answer it. And that is because I don't know what the most memorable experience in all of gamingdom now, and in the past, and in the future is. I'm not omnipresent, although that would be kind of cool. What I can tell you, though, is what one of my favorite moments is. Yes, I know, I'm being a jackass, and I apologize. But in all seriousness, though, one of my favorite gaming experiences, one of the most memorable ones, was when I was playing Ace Combat 5. I was playing the final mission for the first time. Now, the premise of the mission is, there's this giant satellite coming down that was like a giant rail cannon in space, like the size of a skyscraper. And it was coming down, and it was going to land on a city populated with millions and millions of people. And it was up to you and your squadron of 4 fighters, including yourself, to destroy this satellite before it came crashing down. And just, hey, I'm telling a story! And just the atmosphere of the fight. Hey, I'm telling a story! You want to interrupt my story too? As I was saying, the atmosphere in the fight, the camaraderie I felt with my NPC allies, because over the course of the game, you would actually become more than just friends with your 4 partners. I mean, it was the first game in the Ace Combat series in which you had, you know, allies that you could actually control, give orders to. And I don't want to give anything away, but you become very close. You just feel close to them, like they're more than just friends, like they're family, you know? So it was just that sense of knowing that that you and your family are the only thing that stands between life and death of this city. Is just that, the music, just all of it. It was just, it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. That is definitely one of my most memorable moments in gaming history that I have had so far. Wait till this guy gets closer, because if he drops anything, I want to pick it up. Come and get it. Haha! So, yes, there you go. That is the answer to that question, Impure Darkness. The next questions come from Matty McCardle. I'm probably slaughtering your name again, and I do apologize for that. Nice drink here. Question 1 from Matty McCardle. Will you ever have a multiplayer stream where people can join you? Well, sir, the best answer I can give you in that regards is maybe. And I'm not saying that to try and be difficult. I'm saying that because the last time I tried to do streams was a few years ago. The only computer I had available. Don't I need a guidance kit? Yeah, I can't use that. So I'll stick with the Bloodstorm. Unfortunately, the only system I had for doing any kind of streaming was my 5-plus-year-old computer, PC Tower, which is now about 6-plus years old. No, not change color. So I couldn't do any kind of streaming with it, not effectively anyways. But now I have a laptop, which is much more powerful. I have a better setup, a better internet connection, I have a better microphone. So it is within the realm of possibility, but I can't say yes or no one way or another. Streaming is kind of, I don't know. It's not something I know. I don't know if I can dedicate a lot of time to right now, because, you know, I'm trying to find more work. I don't know what kind of schedule I have. The schedule I have right now, as far as my job, changes from week to week, so I never know how much time I'm going to have free. So I can't make a dedicated, I'm going to stream every Monday at this time type thing, because I never know how busy it's going to be or how long I'm going to be at work. So the best answer I can give you right now is maybe. Possibly. It is in the realm of possibility. That is the best answer I can give you, sir. I hope that doesn't disappoint you. Take another drink here. We had 20 people take advantage of this, so we got about 40 questions to get through, and we're on question 5, and I'm running out of breath. Question 2 from Matty is, the next time you play a game with good character customization, can I make you another list like I did for Dragon's Dogma? And again, all I can say is maybe. Possibly. I'm not 100% sure right now. It's certainly within the realm of possibility. But I don't know, because I don't know when I'm going to play another game that has good character customization, where I can really make a character that's mine, and not just some generic cookie-cutter game. Like, in this game, I really can't customize my characters much more than color and weapons. I can't really make my peon stand out from the horde of peons that's fighting alongside me, unfortunately. So there you go. That is the best answer I can give for you at this time. I hope it does not disappoint you. The next set of questions comes from Team TGU. Question 1. How did you get into gaming? I got into gaming when I was a wee lad. Way back in the 80s. The games I played then was... I actually used to play on an old Atari system, believe it or not. And I just absolutely loved it. I loved playing games like Pole Position and Asteroids. Tank. I love Tank. I love those kind of games where the name of the game is literally everything you need to know about the game. Just, what's the name of the game? Game's called Tank. What do? You play as a tank and you shoot other tanks. Anything else? Nope. That's it. You just shoot things with a tank. I guess that's where I developed my love for tanks in games like this. It's just like, yeah, I love Tank. It was a good game. Never could beat Pole Position, but it wasn't really built to be beaten, you know? Dang it, hold still so I can smash you with my hammer. You want some of this too? Crap. Question 2 from Team TGU. How did you get into YouTube? Alright. I've been watching YouTube for a while. I'd say when I first got into it was around 2006 or so, probably a little bit sooner. What was happening was, that was around the time I started going to college, and at the time I did not have my own computer. So whenever I was on YouTube or anything like that, I would have to... I used YouTube primarily to listen to music, and, you know, listen to music while I was browsing the internet. Wow, that missile just totally did not go where it was supposed to. Good job, tracking. And as much as I enjoy listening to music, I never had a favorites list or anything like that. So I would have to constantly search up everything that I wanted to listen to, and it got annoying. So in about 2006, when I was at college and constantly using YouTube while I was working and such, I decided to make an account, Alexander Frost, and use it to listen to music and mark my favorites so I could always use it. And that's where my YouTubing began. Of course, it wasn't until about 3 years later or so that I actually started to do games and Let's Plays and such, but I still use it to listen to music on a daily basis, because I'm on the internet every single day. And I listen to music and I find favorites here that I just can't find anywhere else, and it's amazing and I absolutely love it. So there's the answer to your question, Team TGU. Thank you for asking. I feel like I am becoming closer. I'm becoming one with my fans. Yes! Yes! Or maybe it's just I'm having a good time with this minigun. That could be it too. Uh-oh, out of bullets. Give me a second here to kind of get my gun reloaded. I'm gonna have to pause so I can actually read this next question. Alright. The next set of questions comes from Cameraman Campbell. Question 1. Should I keep picking at this thing on my back? It's been there for a few days, and it tells me that it hurts when I do that, but it keeps stealing my ice cream sandwiches. Cameraman Campbell, yes, you should get it looked at. Probably by a priest. And if you don't know what to do with it, I suggest fire. Fire works very well. I do hope you have a high tolerance for pain, though. Question 2. Can we play together again? Well, folks, there's a bit of a story behind that. Cameraman Campbell is actually a good friend of mine that I have known on my PS3. To be more specific, when I first got my PS3, one of the first games I started to play was Lost Planet 2 when it was brand spanking new. I started playing it online at random, and whoops, I almost said his name. Cameraman Campbell, as he's called, is one of the guys that I first met, and we became good friends. We went through Lost Planet 2 together, and actually, because of me, he has gotten into Let's Playing. And he's doing a fairly good job of it, I have to say. He's still a little rough around the edges. He has some things that he could work on, but then again, we all have things that we could work on. So to answer your question, Cameraman Campbell, yes. Yes, we can play together again. When? I don't know. It really depends on your schedule, because I'm on all the time. You know, send me a message via YouTube, Skype, whatever. Let me know when you're available, and I will hop onto the PS3 and play games with you, because I know I'd love to play this with you. Because I know you told me you have this game. So yes, by all means, we can play together again. When? I don't know. I can fly right into a sign, yeah. Let me see, we're at about, wow, we're only at about 20 minutes. This is going to take longer than I initially thought. I'm going to have to break this up, I think. Well, it's only been about, what, 16 minutes? 20 minutes? Never mind. I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. So this may actually take a lot longer than I'd originally thought, which is good! Let me put away my... not my vibro hammer. I like my vibro hammer. My vibro hammer is my friend. I want the hand cannon. I want that bad boy. Yes. And I would like to update my armor a little bit. Okay. Before we move on, what is the next set of questions? The next set of questions comes from Lords of... I want to say this right. Lord of Lizards P. Lord of Lizard SP. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I'm saying it right, great. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Question the first. Question the first. Yes, I love that. Is there a possibility of you playing any of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games as a Let's Play? It is within the realm of possibility, but it is within the realm of possibility that borders on no. And the reason being is that, several reasons actually, one of which is that I'm not that big into Chinese lore. I'm more into Japanese lore. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with Chinese lore. I mean, I got into Dynasty Warriors long before Samurai Warriors existed. It's my roots. I can't deny it. But Romance of the Three Kingdoms is just too slow-paced for me. I like it. I find it interesting. But I don't think I could help P1. And even if I did, it would be at least a year before I did, because I would want to make sure that not only could I actually reliably beat the game, I'd want to make sure that I could actually show you all of the aspects of the game. And most Romance of the Three Kingdoms games are Koei games, so they are just engrossed with detail. There is a lot there. It is a big thing to delve into, and I would need time to really prepare myself for it before I could even think about doing a proper Let's Play of it. So it's possible, but unlikely. I must apologize for that. I'm sorry if I got your hopes up, but it is what it is. Alright, second question. I should say, and the second. Which version of Magoichi Saika do you prefer, Sengoku Basara or Samurai Warriors? And the answer to that question is, I actually prefer the version from not Samurai Warriors. Samurai's Destiny is what I'm thinking of. I prefer the version from Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. Now, I know that's not the answer you were looking for, but I will give you that answer in a moment. I like Magoichi from Samurai's Destiny because it was the first version of Magoichi I'd ever encountered. And because of the whole friendship system, the whole 4 different storylines that you could go through, I felt much closer to Magoichi to that version than I did any other version, because I felt like he was my friend. He was my ally in combat. He saved Jubei's life from turning into stone for eternity. That kind of friendship is just amazing. You can't put a price on that. I don't care what you say. You can't put a price on that. But to answer your question proper, the version of Magoichi that I prefer between the 2 games listed, I prefer the Sengoku Basara version. And believe it or not, it's not because she has tits. The reason being is that version of Magoichi is driven. She knows what she wants. And it doesn't even have anything to do with the fact that she's a woman. In this game, she never has to prove herself as a combatant. She is seen as an equal. Her gender doesn't matter. And because she's so focused and driven, she knows what it is she wants. She has a goal. She has an objective. I like that. I really like that about her. The other thing is, the version from Samurai Warriors, when I first met him, he was very much a playboy. I mean, he was very much, you know, trying to be the ladies' man, trying to get with the sweet honeys and so much. He reminded me a little bit of Moroku from Inuyasha, for those of you who know that particular anime. Although not quite to that degree. So while he is a skilled fighter, I just never really put a lot of emphasis or like into him because of that. I was just like, well, that's just who he is. He is the way he is. I won't fault him for it, but I won't like him either. He's an alright character. He's an alright dude. He's a great fighter, but I prefer the Sengoku Basara version much more. Okay, now where am I time-wise? I am at almost 30 minutes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Actually, no, this mission's not even half done yet, so I will go on ahead and answer the next set of questions, and then I'm probably going to cut the video for recording's sake. Now, I know the timestamp shows that the video is not even half over yet. What I'm saying is, when I record videos, I record in about half-hour chunks. Just for the sake of safety, of not losing my recording with Audacity or anything like that. So I will take a short break, probably to get some water and stuff too, and then I'll be back. For you guys, though, there will be no cut, no break. So all will be well. Maybe I should have taken double hammers. That would have been interesting. The next set of questions comes from Zappa Slave. Thank you for asking the questions, good sir. Before I even go on, really, everyone, thank you for taking advantage of this. I really, really am appreciative of this opportunity you have given me. So, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for asking these questions. And if I don't answer them to your satisfaction, I apologize in advance, but still, thank you for giving me this. This really does make me feel good. I really do feel like like I have the opportunity to connect with you more than I did before. Oh, he's dead. So, question 1. What did you think of the Third Birthday? Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, the Third Birthday is the third game in the Parasite Eve series, which was released a few years ago for the PlayStation Portable. It is a departure from the original Parasite Eve series. It is less survival horror and third-person camera based. Actually, it is third-person camera. It is less survival horror and more action-oriented. And while I'm fine with this, the major issue I had was somewhat the control scheme. I felt like it should have been on the PlayStation 2, not the PlayStation Portable. I felt like I was fighting the camera most of the time, and I feel that if it had been on the PlayStation 2, the addition of a second analog stick would mean I would be able to control the camera better instead of using some weird, funky yeah, I would have been able to better control the camera, which was, you know, kind of necessary. I mean, it would be like, imagine playing this game I'm playing right now with no analog stick. Actually, it would be sort of like, instead of using the auto-aiming feature that this game had when you use the normal control scheme, imagine you have to hold down L1 to lock onto a target, but you couldn't aim up or down or anything like that on your own. You had to rely on the auto-aim to do it. And once you locked onto a target, you could strafe around it, but still, it just felt very limiting in its control scheme, and I did not like that. Not to mention the departure from Aya's abilities, and it completely changed the way her abilities worked. There was some kind of DNA slot system or something like that, which was kind of strange, and I just couldn't get into it. As much as I wanted to, I could not get into it, so I never actually finished it. I tried. A lot of it was level based. It was kind of like this game. It was kind of level based. It wasn't an adventure. It wasn't a let's go around this map. The map will change slowly over time, and all this stuff will happen. It never felt like that. It felt like mission based, staged based. It's like that's not what the original game was like. So I just couldn't get into it, unfortunately, as much as I wanted to. And I think that Aya being voiced for the first time suffered a little bit of other M syndrome, like Samus did. Before Samus did, actually. So maybe I can get... I mean, if they ever did release it on the PS2, just for the hell of it, or if there were a way for me to actually, like, use a PS2 controller with my PSP, or something like that, maybe I could give it another shot. But, yeah, mostly I was disappointed. And I just went back to playing Parasite Eve 2 and just enjoyed that for what it was. Oh, gosh, I'm running out of that. Oh. My throat doesn't get dry when I talk for a long time. It's more like you get that little bit of weird froth in the back of your throat. It's kind of like you want to swallow and take a drink there. It's not dry mouth, it's froth mouth, if that makes any sense. Of course it doesn't. Why would it make sense? You're confusing your people! Stop confusing your subscribers, you silly man! And your second question... Oh yes, this will definitely be the question that ends this video. Oh yes! His question is, and it's a doozy. How did you feel about the time-traveling aspect of Warriors at OG3, and would you like that to happen in Warriors at OG4? Now, technically, that was 2 questions, so technically I shouldn't answer the second half, but I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to be like Grimmith and be all like, you're being sneaky, don't be sneaky. I'm not going to be like that. My thoughts on the time-travel aspect of Warriors at OG3. My initial reaction was, really? Really? We're going this way, huh? Okay. Time travel. That was my initial reaction. Ooh, I gotta hurry, get over it. I want those weapons. I want. Give. Careful. Step on the weapon. Thank you. Ugh. This is my bridge now. My initial thoughts on it, well, I already told you what my initial thoughts were on it, was it was an interesting gimmick. Kinda silly, but I worked with it. But in a way, it made sense. Because unlike games like Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, where each game was just a reboot, essentially, with newer graphics and all of that good stuff, or a retelling of the same story, if you will, Warriors at OG 1, 2, and 3 were all sequels of each other. Well, not the first game. The first game was its own game. It established a new universe, and then the second game was a sequel to the first, and then the third was a sequel to the second. So the time travel aspect actually brought things together quite nicely, neatly, and ended the whole series. So I was okay with it. It worked as a gimmick for that game. As for Warriors Orochi 4, I don't think there's going to be a fourth game. And the reason is, like I said, the 3 games are all intertwined together. They're what's the word I'm looking for? They're all together, you know? I mean, in the first game, and I might be giving some things away, and I apologize. In the first game, a demigod by the name of Orochi, because he was bored, decided to take all the great heroes from Chinese history and all the great heroes from Japanese history, as well as pieces of China and Japan, and throw them together into a pocket dimension world of his creation, and then watch to see what would happen. And ultimately, he was killed at the end of the first game. He was defeated, and that was that. But the world itself, this mishmash of China and Japan, hundreds of years apart, were still intertwined and together in this pocket dimension. And so everyone just, you know, tried to make the best of it. They tried to live through it. And it's like, okay, we're stuck here. We might as well keep living because we're still alive. And then in the second game, his minions, Orochi's minions, tried to revive Orochi. And succeeded. And then Orochi was killed again. And at the beginning of the third game, this giant 8-headed Hydra, which used Orochi's spirit, emerged. And again, all these people were still stuck together in this world that wasn't supposed to be. But at the end of the game, Orochi's put down for the final time. He's killed, dead, gone, done. And the world that he created is separated. Everyone is returned home where they're supposed to be. And only are left with a vague sense of deja vu that what happened in Orochi's world happened. So I don't think there's gonna be a fourth game. But if there was, I don't think there would be any kind of time travel gimmick. I think they'd make some kind of new gimmick, specifically for that game. Alright folks, that's going to do it for right now. I'm going to take a quick break and put this video together, and you guys will see me in just a few seconds, so click! Unclick! Now, I know it looks like I have a completely different weapon, and that's because I do have a completely different weapon. And that's because I actually sat down and recorded the second half of this full 30 minutes of recording, and my Blue Yeti microphone was muted the whole time. And I didn't find out until I stopped. So I ended up going back through mission 1, 2, and 3 on hard mode to earn new weapons, earned a buttload of new weapons, answered well over half the questions, and now I gotta do it again. I'm smart. I did a smart thing. But you know what? I'm in a good mood. I'm good-natured about it, and it gave me the opportunity to kind of think through some of these questions a little bit more. So, to kind of make up for the idiocy that I did, I'll go back through those first 3 missions again and answer the questions again. So while we're on it, let's see. I believe I left off. Yes, I see where I left off. Alright, the next questions comes from Ichida Okazaki. First question is, when will you do an LP of Samurai Warriors 2? Soon. I will do an LP of Samurai Warriors 2 sometime. My phone is dead. Sometime within the next 6 months. Now, I know you're probably sitting there going, 6 months? What the hell? Well, I have an explanation for it. It kind of has to do with how I'm recording right now. Right now I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, one series, Wednesday, Thursday, another series, Friday, Saturday, a third series. Now, with the conclusion of Dino Crisis this week, Fridays and Saturdays, I'm going to leave open as bonus videos. So what's going to happen is, like, Friday will be an extra episode of Sengoku Basara, and Saturday will be an extra episode of Red Faction Guerrilla. That way I can kind of speed the two other series along. And then whenever I finish one of those two, say Red Faction, if I finish Red Faction first, Wednesday and Thursday will be devoted to Sengoku Basara, and then whatever bonus day was used for Red Faction will become Sengoku Basara. So it'll be a week of that. And then once I finish the third series, whichever it may be, I'll switch over to Valkyria Chronicles and just hardcore plow through it. Just get it done. Just do it all. Because I want to finish it. And I feel like that's what I gotta do in order to finish it. Because these 2 episodes a week and then taking a week-long break, because finishing Valkyria Chronicles takes more effort as far as recording goes than the other games. Because it's a strategy game. So I feel if I actually just sit down and just do it, just plow through it, just do it, not take breaks from it, 6 days a week, bam, 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 I can get through it a lot faster. Which is what I want to do. And when I finish with that, and put that off my plate, I can sit back and concentrate on some of the stuff I've been wanting to do for a while. Like, I could work on the, what was it? The bounty mode run of Parasite Eve 2. I can work on that again. And Samurai Warriors 2. So, sometime within the next 6 months, it depends on when I finish with the games I'm doing, and Valkyria Chronicles. Hopefully it won't be 6 months before I actually get back to Samurai Warriors. But, yes, before the end of the year, for sure. So you look at some of these new toys I picked up, because I picked up quite a few. Let me see. In the last mission we picked up Vibro Hammer, Force Blade. Oh my. What is this? That's a sickle. That's not a hammer. Look at that thing. Vulcan Hammer? Oh my. Oh my. That looks dangerous. That looks dangerous to use. I'm going to use it. Alright, we have a blast hole spear, and we picked up something called a spine driver? Oh. Oh my. Wow. Hey, wait a minute. The blast hole spear has a second attack? What the hell? It's also possible to use as a... What? Well, apparently I haven't been using the blast hole spear correctly. Shame on me. I'll have to figure out how to use this, Alright, I will, but... Press the attack mandate. Wow, that just looks painful. And the blast twin spears? Oh... Oh, wow, that looks ridiculously painful. Okay. Apparently I picked up a new variant of the hand cannon and something called a dispersal mortar. Where it fires shrapnel? Alright. Well, Decisions, boys and girls. I'm going to stick with the blast hole spear as a primary, and I'm going to stick with this machine gun, because you guys didn't get to see it because I was stupid. For my secondaries, however, I do believe we're going to use the Vibro Hacken and the Vulcan Hammer. And then next time we'll use the Spine Driver and Blast Twin Spears and see what they do. Okay, now that we've done that, oh my god, just why? Why? Those look so painful! Ugh. Moving on to Ichida's second question. Do you like anime and manga? Yes, I do. I like them very, very much. That's all you asked, so that's all you get. Yes, I do enjoy them both very, very much. Oh, I actually, believe it or not, skipped someone's questions in my previous video, so shame on me! Shame on me for missing them. Oh my goodness. Van Tron First question, which of all the characters in Sengoku Basara are your 3 favorite and your least favorite? Now, this is kind of a broad question, because you're asking me what are my favorite characters and least favorite. This could be favorite to play as, or just favorite in general. So I will answer. First of all, my favorite characters, just in general, favorite characters. Magoichi, Keiji, and Oichi. Magoichi, because I believe I explained before, she's a very driven individual, and I like that about her. She knows what she wants, she doesn't let everything get in her way. She's good like that. Keiji, because he's just the life of the party. He feels like he'd be at home no matter where he is. He's happy, he's fun to be around, he's a great guy, and he's a great friend. And then Oichi, because she is the very definition of a whoopee. Interesting. One. Oh, so just by holding the button I get a second attack. Well, neat. Oichi is very much a whoopee. You just want to hug her and cuddle her and just protect her from all the hardships that life has thrown on her. This is, of course, just me. I have a soft spot for people like that because I have been told myself that some of the things I've suffered through in my life, I myself am apparently a whoopee. I don't believe it. I believe I'm actually a fairly strong individual, I guess. But, there it is. I'm gonna actually have to pause here just a second so I can go to grab me. I see you standing over there looking at me like you want to eat me. My 3 favorite to play as would be Ieyasu, because, well, he was the first version of Ieyasu that just struck me as, oh man, wow, I love this guy. Like, the first versions I'd ever seen was in Samurai Warriors, and I just did not like him. He was big, he was fat, he just seemed, I just didn't like him. But I like this version of Ieyasu. He's a boxer, he's a fighter. He fights with no weapons to be fair to his enemies. That's something. That takes balls. Kotaro, because he's the frickin' Twilight Ninja. Do you really need more of an answer? And then, of course, Keiji, because, again, he's the life of the party, and he could kill people by sneezing on him. How can you not like a guy like that? I mean, honestly. Oh man. Oh man. Whoa, really? So, if I power this thing up, like, all the way, and then... oh my. He just kind of dropped that. He just kind of dropped the hammer on him. Now, my three least favorite characters. First, my 3 least favorite characters, period, would be Yoshitsugu, and I do believe I made my reasons for disliking him quite clear when I played as him. Whoa! Oh, wow! They say Vulcan. They are not kidding. Motonari Mori, because something about him just strikes me as just... He seems like he's so much better than everyone. He has this air of superiority about him that I just don't like. It just irks me to no end. So I just don't like him for that. And my 3 least favorite to actually play as would have to be Tsuruhime, because I'm not terribly fond of ranged characters. I know I play as Magoichi and enjoy it, but Magoichi fires a bit faster because she's using a gun. Tsuruhime uses a bow, so it feels different. So I'm not a big fan of it. I like her as a character, just not fond of her fighting style. Yoshitsugu, again, I believe I made my reasoning clear on that one, although I can say I actually enjoyed his Comet Strike. Wow, I just destroyed that building. I enjoy his Comet Wheels. That did bring a giggle to me. Oh, that didn't kill him. Really? Back the hammer and the swipey swipe of justice. All up in your grill. Let's see, other characters. I don't like to play as Moltenari. The third, yeah, being Moltenari, mostly because I'm not a fan of how he fights. I've never actually played as him, so I am a little biased based on his character type. But, yeah, not a big fan. Not a big fan. Oh, wait. Oh, I did not even get a chance to shoot him. He just picked me up and someone killed him. Works for me! Something picked me up, or did I just fall over? I think I just fell over. Yeah, I just fell over. Hopefully you're not seeing this tearing on the screen that I am seeing, and I apologize if you do see it. I do not know why it's there. It was not there before. This is the first time it's happened while in the middle of a game. Usually it doesn't. It's, kinda strange. Kinda strange. Alright, and your second question, Vantron. What gaming consoles do you like the most and the least? For the gaming console that I like the most, I would have to say the PlayStation 2. And this is because, in all my years of gaming, it is the console I had the most, I think. The one I used the most. The Genesis is definitely number 2 on that list, because I had it. We had a Sega Genesis that we bought near opening day when it was first released, and it worked, still worked when we moved, and I had it and then I got rid of it, which was really stupid of me. Should have held on to it, but I was just like, I'm not using it, I might as well get rid of it, and that was dumb of me. Very, very dumb. But it's okay, it's alright, I learned my lesson. The PlayStation 2 definitely, because it just feels... I mean, I could play PlayStation games on it, I could play PlayStation 2 games on it, I could listen to music CDs on it, I could watch movies. There was so much I could do with a PlayStation 2, and it just had the most life out of all the games I played, out of all the systems I have had. Now, the next question is, which one do I like the least? That would be, for those of you who are old enough to remember, the Tiger handheld electronic games. I don't even consider those games, to be truly honest. You better let go of me, son, or I'm gonna fucking shoot you. I am not food. What the fuck? Let go. Let go. Let the fuck go. I'm not a fan of those Tiger handheld electronic toys because, oh my god, let me go while I am telling my story. I'm not a fan of them because I really didn't consider them games. I mean, there was, oh my god. I never really considered them games because it was like, you really never could beat them. Like, Atari 2600 games could be excused for this. Yes, they were never meant to be beaten, but you could excuse them because they were the first games. They were experimenting. It was new. But with these Tiger handheld electronic games, they came out around the time of Mega Man, and Sonic, and Street Fighter. These games had endings. They were meant to be beaten. There was meant to be an ending. So these cheap facsimiles that had no intention of being beaten ever were a pale imitation that just seemed to be an insult to anyone who played it. They just bugged me so much. Did not like them at all. Alright, there's only a few bugs left. Only a few left, boys and girls, and then we can use those other spears of speary goodness. Speary goodness! Also pick up more armor, because more armor is good. It keeps us alive. Let me see. What is the next question? Oh, it's kind of a long one. It's kind of a long one. So I may have to... let me finish this mission, believe it or not, because I'm going to have to actually take my hand off the controller and scroll the mouse over a little bit. Alright, I know you're here, bug. I know you're here. I can feel your fear. That accomplished precisely nothing. I should probably chase down this one first. I have a better idea. I know you're hiding in there. I'm going to break this building. I said I'm going to break this building. These buildings are breakable. I know you're over here. I know you're over here, and I know your friend is behind me, too. You thought I wasn't paying attention, but I was. I know what's up. You coming out? Am I gonna have to come in after you? That's right. Anyways, the next question comes from xBubba1995X, although I'm pretty sure it's just supposed to be Bubba1995. Question 1. I've been watching your videos ever since Onimusha 3 Demon Siege 4 years ago. And in all the years, I have been entertained. I've seen you happy, in pain, sad, and outright depressed. And in all the long years, did you ever think it would be this crazy of a ride? No. No, I did not think it would be this crazy of a ride. And for all the trouble that this life has given me, this gaming has given me, you know, I wouldn't change it for anything. I'm glad I got to do this. I'm glad I'm doing what I'm doing. It makes me happy. It frustrates me to no end sometimes, but I'm glad I'm doing it. And I wouldn't take that away for anything. Not for all the money in the world.
Deploying. Select a mission. Select a difficulty.
Second question. Do you like bananas? Yes. I love bananas. Very much so. As a matter of fact, I'm craving some right now. Most specifically, I'm craving a Nutella and banana sandwich. But I think that's mostly because it's so late at night. It's about 2:30 right now. It's so late at night, and I usually crave food at this time of night. I want to eat something. You know, right before I'm supposed to go to bed, when I'm not supposed to eat food. So, yeah. That, and I know I could completely destroy an entire jar of Nutella in a day or two. And that's not healthy. That's not healthy. Like, not healthy at all. Oh, I'm glad I jumped when I fired that, because if I hadn't jumped, that could have ended very badly. Not sure if I like this dispersal more. Not sure if I like this dispersal order. Alright, Magoichi Abel is our next question asker, and for some reason, whenever I see that name, I always try to read it... Oh, wow, that was fast. I always try to read it as Magoichi Blade, which is rather cool, if you ask me. Oh, this thing actually works a lot better than the blast spear, because it just bam, fire, bam, fire. It doesn't wait. There's no wind-up period. Although I don't know how to do the second attack yet. I don't think it has one. Anyways. I see you looking at me. I'm going to hit you with this thing. Magoichi Abel asks... hang on a minute. I'm in close proximity and about to die! Okay. So which one of you guys dropped health? No one? Awesome. Nope. No! I died because that ant pooted on me! Not cool! Fucking ant. I kinda got in deep. It was my own fault. Magoichi Abel asks, did you ever play the Yakuza series? No, I have never actually played the Yakuza series. I'm kind of interested. I would kind of like to play the Yakuza series, but I just never got a chance to. Every time I looked at the game, I always thought, Like, I wanted to play it, but every time I got into a video store and wanted to actually play it, I just never could get into it. I don't know why. That's an interesting attack. Not bad. Alright, back to the gun. So yeah, I'd like to try it sometime, but I don't know, I just never felt the gumption for it, I guess would be the word. Maybe I'll get into it one day. It would be interesting to try. I mean, it seems kind of like Saints Row, kind of, and Grand Theft Auto, so I like those games. That almost ended badly for me. So yeah, I would like to try them someday. Maybe I will, who knows? I don't know if I'm ever going to do an LP, but I definitely wouldn't mind trying it sometime. And Magoichi's second question is, will you do a Let's Play of Dynasty Warriors? I will not. And my reasoning for this is the games are very long. And I know I've said it before, and I know you guys have told me in return, the games aren't all that long, really. And let me revise that. Not no, but maybe. I really have to think about it. You know? Maybe one day I will, but I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. That's the best answer I can give you. It's just maybe. I really have to sit down and think about it really, really hard. I apologize if that's not the answer you're looking for. I know there's an item in here. It fell down in here. Oh, it's just health. I blew up a building for health that wasn't even on the roof. Good job, Alex. Good job. I wonder what using two of these at once would be like. Interesting. Oh, pardon me. Next set of questions comes from Michael545. Question 1, what is your favorite weapon to use in Dynasty Warriors 8? Haven't actually played Dynasty Warriors 8, so I can't rightly answer the question. However, I'd say my favorite characters to play as in Dynasty Warriors 8... Do those move forward? No, they don't. I mean, I was looking at the back portion. I thought the back portion moved inward. My favorite characters to play as in the Dynasty Warriors series are generally spear users. Primarily, what's his name? Zhao Yun, who's usually the poster boy for the series. Ma Chao's another good one, as well as Jiang Wang, although I'm a little less thrilled to play as Jiang Wang, because he's more individual focused as far as using his spear. He's focused on individual targets, not groups of enemies. So that is that as far as that question is concerned, and it's getting kind of tight in here. Getting a little tight. Alright, let me answer the next question. The next question is, game series you want to get into. You know, I was stumped initially when I was asked. I forgot that I had the dispersal mortar. I thought I had the blast spear. And that was my own fault. I'm just going to get off this mission. How's that sound? That sounds like a really good idea. That I get off this mission before I blow myself up again. Dispersal mortar, off my shoulder, please.
Fencers can equip 4 weapons.
Ooh, I like that, but no, I'll probably go back to the good old... 2 of those would be kind of awesome. Okay, the Spine Driver doesn't actually have a secondary attack. You know what? I still like it, so Spine Drivers. I was stumped by the question initially, but I'd have to say I really wanted to get into Monster Hunter. Because it felt like it was one of those community-driven games. You know, I really wanted to get into a game series with a community of people. You know? That's what I was really, really, really looking for. And I never did really find it, unfortunately, but that is something I really, really wanted. I can't think of another one off the top of my head that I wanted, but yeah, that's a real good one. I wanted to get into Monster Hunter, because I thought it was a really good and interesting series. And I'm gonna actually cut it here, because I want to make sure I actually recorded properly this time, and, you know, didn't mute the microphone like an idiot. So, again, we are going to pause, and I will be right back, folks. So, click. Unclick. Hopefully, for the last time. Alright, folks. We're closing in on the end. There's only 8 people left. That's 16 questions, so let's do it.
Deploying. Select a mission.
I'm gonna go on ahead and jump in this mission on
At higher difficulties, better weapons.
on normal. Let's not be over cocky. Let's do it on normal. First question, or I should say the next set of questions, comes from Blind Man's G1. Question 1, have you ever played any of the Tenchu games? Yes, I have. I have in fact played the very first Tenchu Stealth Assassins game, and by play, I mean with a friend of mine. We rented it from a Schnook's video store. We got to see the opening cutscene, which was awesome. We got to fiddle around with the options, and then the moment we hit start game, the game said, "Fuck you, I'm not working." We took the disc out, we cleaned it, we checked it for smudges and scratches, it was fine. We tried it again, got to see the opening cinematic again, got to fiddle with the options again, hit start, "Fuck you, I'm not working." So we went back to Schnook's, and they said, because it's not like Blockbuster, they did not give a rat's ass. They just did not give a rat's ass. So we were shit out of luck. We didn't get a refund or anything. And it sucked. I really wanted to play Tenchu Z. I mean, I really, really wanted to play that game because you could make your own ninja. But unfortunately, no, I never got the opportunity to, because I wasn't going to get a whole system just for a game, unfortunately. The second question is, what is your favorite TV show of all time? I cannot pick one. There are just too many, and I cannot settle on a favorite. I'm very big into sci-fi, so Farscape. Oh, Farscape. That was a trip and a half, man. Farscape, I really loved. Babylon 5, Space Above and Beyond, for those of you who are old enough to remember it. Oh wow, that was super effective. Believe it or not, I was not a big fan of Stargate. I don't know why, I just wasn't a big fan of it. Nothing against it. I mean, I've watched a few episodes, like, oh hey, this is kind of cool, but I don't know, I couldn't get into it, really. Gonna shoot missiles at you. That had to hurt. Yeah, I can't really get a good shot off at you, so I'm just gonna do that. Oh, hey, he dropped a weapon. A weapon. I won't sit. Alright. So there you go. That answers that question for what is my favorite video game. I already tried to answer that and I failed horribly. Alright, next question comes from David Klein. Can you play Sengoku Musou 3 Empires or Dynasty Warrior 7 Empires? Yes, I can play those games. I am physically capable of playing them. I'm sorry, Jackass mode is still on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sengoku Musou is the Japanese pronunciation of Sengoku... No, it's not. Is the Japanese pronunciation of Samurai Warriors. I'm actually not going to be doing Samurai Warriors 3 or playing it or anything like that. And it's primarily because it's on the Wii. It was put on the Wii as an exclusive, and we didn't get it on the PS3. And the thing that really gets me is they made a PS3 version. They made an honest-to-God PS3 version. But it was for only in Japan. They never actually brought it over here. And I know the PS3 is not region-locked, so if I wanted to, I could totally play it. But then I wouldn't have the English voice acting, I wouldn't have subtitles, I wouldn't know how to switch it over to... I wouldn't have any of the stuff. And that would suck. Oh, I love this spine driver. It's so awesome. I'm totally going to go back on my other profile and play using this. It's just amazingly powerful. Believe it or not, this actually comes with a little bit of a story. Where are you? Can't tear this building down, it's too damn big. Years and years and years ago, there was a little game, or well, let me start it with years and years ago. One of the things I loved to do every weekend, or almost every weekend, was I loved to go to, well, I can't see, camera not working with me. I loved to go to the department stores. Not the department stores. I like to go to the stores, Walmart, Venture, and so forth. Go to the book section and read magazines, because I couldn't afford magazines then. I was poor. I was a kid. I had no money. Damn it. And I would read the game magazines constantly. I had an absolute blast doing it. And one time I heard about this little game called Valkyrie Profile. And understandably, it caught my attention. Because it, okay, well, let me not look up at that. Let's not look up at the dead spider dropping out of the sky on us, because that is nightmare fuel. The thing about Valkyrie Profile, when I first saw the previews for it, was the character sprites and everything, it looked cartoony enough. Oh, you're still alive. I thought everyone was dead. I'm sorry. It looked cartoony enough to capture the interest of the child in me, but it looked mature enough to capture the young man in me who was growing up. So it was really a case of just being in the right place at the right time as far as interests were concerned. So I really, really wanted to play it, but I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, and wouldn't get one for many a year. So I passed it up. I left it be, and I just thought, I won't get to play it. Whatever, I'm not going to be upset about it. Fine. But then, I found out, well, what happened was I thought, I'll play it later on when I get a PlayStation. You know, I'll get to play it eventually. And then I found out that Valkyrie Profile became a cult classic. It became one of the most critically acclaimed games of the PlayStation era, and it became incredibly rare and hard to find, and the copies that you could find were stupid expensive. I was disappointed in myself, because I had a great thing, and I passed it up. Years later, Valkyrie Profile 2 for the PlayStation 2 came out, not wanting to let it slip me by because I wanted to see how good it was. I wanted to get my taste of Valkyrie Profile. That desire to play it was still there. I rented it from Blockbuster, brand new copy, rented it, took it home and played it. Precisely 45 minutes later, I took the game out of my system, put it back in its Blockbuster box, took it back to Blockbuster, went to Walmart, and bought a brand new copy for myself, as well as a strategy guide, both of which I still have. That is how powerful an effect that game had on me. It made me want it, just to buy it, just have it. And then I found out sometime later that they were remaking Valkyrie Profile, the original that I had let slip through my fingers. They were remaking it with CG cutscenes, all new voice acting for the PSP. I couldn't have pre-ordered that game any faster if I tried. I snapped it up and I bought a PSP straight away. Now, like I said, normally I don't buy PSP, or normally I don't buy a brand new system just for a game. I don't do that. It takes a very powerful game to do that, and the Valkyrie Profile series is in it. The first two games, I should say. The third game, which had more or less nothing to do with the Valkyrie sisters or anything like that, yeah. That's a little different. That falls a little bit into the third birthday category. But the first two games, oh, so good. It's like if you've ever watched JonTron talk about Rareware games. Valkyrie Profile, that is my Rareware. Xenosaga, that is my Rareware. Any Atlas game, that is my Rareware. So good. Oh. But unfortunately, Samurai Warriors 3 does not merit that much attention. It's a good game, but I wouldn't buy a new system for it. However, well, actually, someone else has a question regarding that, so I won't answer it. Dynasty Warriors 7 Empires never actually played any of the Dynasty Warriors Empires series, believe it or not. It would be interesting to try, but I don't think I'd do an LP of it. Not straight away. Just because of how long it would take to do. Oh, let me take a breath. Take a drink. Start a mission. And decide, this is probably not a good idea. It's not a good idea, so I'll do it. The next set of questions comes from Sakura Kikuyuna. I think I'm saying it right. First question is, what is your nationality? I am 100% American, born and bred in the United States. However, because of my complexion, because I am of mixed races, I have been confused for other races before. I have been confused for an Alaskan, like an actual Eskimo Alaskan. I've been confused for a Hawaiian, an Indian, like a Native American Indian. And because of my young age, or young appearance and age, I've actually been mistaken for high school students. Actually, believe it or not, not too long ago, like a week ago, I was mistaken for a high school student just graduating. Which, kind of made me happy. So it means when I turn 40, when I turn 100, I'll look like I'm 40, which is kind of awesome, actually. I know there's someone in that web. I'm going to free them with my hand cannon of justice. Come on, hit the web. It's not that hard. Let's see, I know there's another one, like right in front of me, I think. The second question is, when did you first get into video games and anime? Well, we already answered the first question as to when I got into video games. The anime question is a little bit different. This harkens back to the story I just told about how I would how I would go to the store and read the video game magazines. Oftentimes, there would be advertisements for said video games. And anime, of course. I meant to say anime, I apologize. It's frickin' 3:45 in the morning. I'm a little tired. Not 3:45, 2:45. That's how tired I am. I cannot read clock. Oh my god. Wow. I do not know why that happened. What happened? I saw an advertisement for an anime. It was literally the first one I had ever seen. And it intrigued me to no end. For years, I I saw it so many times, but I never knew what it was called. Mostly because I'd forgotten. It was one of those things where you see it so many times as a child and you just remember certain elements of it, but then you don't remember what it's called. And then when you try to recall it years later, it's like, what the fuck was it called? Oh my god, why can't I remember? And then you just either go on a bender to try and find what it was, and then you find it, or after about 5 or 6 hours you're like, fuck it, I'm never gonna remember. Fortunately, my experience falls into the former. I actually found out what the anime was that I had originally seen. Oh, I fell into the... That's not good. That's not good. I got grabbed by a spider way down the fucking street. That's not good at all. I'm gonna die. Gonna die. Gonna die. Restart. Restart. I fucked up. It's okay, I fucked up. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to actually start, not retreat.
Select a difficulty.
I remember it was a red background, and it was a picture of a woman wearing armor, but it was kind of futuristic looking, kind of sci-fi, like half armor. And like, she wasn't like, you know, scantily clad, it wasn't like skin flash or anything. She was dressed like a warrior, and I liked that. I think that's where I really picked up my like for female characters dressing like warriors, and why I don't like games where they dress the females in this really crappy, stupid-looking armor. You know, that's like, shows off their assets and has no practical use in combat. But I never knew what the name was. I could not remember for the life of me. And I did a recent search on it and found out that it was an anime called, and I quote, as soon as I kill the spider and can afford to look at the screen... I could have just paused it, but no, it's the principle of the thing. It was an anime called Iraya Zerium, the animation. That's what it was. That is what interested me in anime. When I first saw it, when I first looked at it, I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what it is, but I want it to be a part of my life. Like, I looked at it and I recognized it that it was something that was meant for adults, for people older than me who could handle it better, but I still wanted it. I wanted it to be in my life. You know, sort of like you see something and you recognize that it's meant for someone more mature than you are, but it's like, I want this so bad. And that's what got me into it. And you know what the ironic thing is? I have not actually watched that anime. Ever. I think I tried to watch part of one episode, but I couldn't get into it because it was mid-90s anime. It was just badly dubbed. So I just couldn't get into it. I wanted to so much. I really did. But I never properly watched it. But it was good, apparently, from what I've heard. I've heard that it's been pretty good anime. So maybe one day I'll go back and actually watch it proper. Who knows? Anything's possible, right? These friggin' spiderwebs are gonna be intercepting my missiles. That's gonna piss me the fuck off. Now, before I get too terribly distracted, because I am getting terribly distracted, and I would like to finish without making another part. Next set of questions comes from Dean Gander. Question 1, will you do Samurai Warriors 2 LP? Yes, I will. I already answered that question, but I'll answer it again. Yes, I will. And question 2, will you do a Dynasty Warriors 8 LP? Probably not, but maybe. There you go with that, Dean. Thank you for answering. The Green Boar asks, will you do a Devil King / Sengoku Basara 1 LP? That is a very strong no-ish. I haven't actually finished the game myself. I probably never will. I actually have a copy of it that I wanted to... Ah, piss. Fucking thing grabbed me again. That I do have it because I wanted to get it and play it. But I just... It's one of those games that it was just so badly dubbed. It got the horrible westernized approach, you know, to make it palatable for us Westerners, because apparently we're not smart enough to... I got dieted in the same spot again, folks. Okay. This is probably a good time to stop playing and just answer the questions, so that is what I will do, because I want to finish. If I ever do finish Devil Kings, it'll just be from me. I don't think I'll ever actually LP it, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel about it. Second question is, will you add me on Skype? I'm lonely. Now, okay, I definitely would have had to stop playing on this one, because I really do need my focus on this. The answer I'd have to say is no. And it's not because I think I'm better than you, or that I think I'm too important a person or a celebrity or whatever. The reason I say no is because of who I am, because of the life I have led, because of things that have happened to me in the past. And to understand this, you'd have to understand me a little more, so I'll explain it. I'm a heavy guy. I've been heavy for most of my life. And children, being what they are, being cruel as they are, made fun of me for my weight. Constantly. I was made fun of all the time, and I did not like it. And it hurt. I mean, I was usually a target of practical jokes, cruel ones. You know, people would approach me and try to pretend to be my friend just to make me the butt of a joke. So I eventually developed a defense mechanism where if someone out of the blue just approached me and tried to be friendly and amicable and wanted to be my friend, my defenses just shoot up. I become wary. I think, what does this person want? What are they going to do? Are they going to try to make fun of me? Are they going to try to hurt me in some way? And that's just something that's just carried over from years and years and years of this happening. And I just can't bring myself to let someone in like that when they approach me initially. If they were more smooth about it, you know, more like we got to talking for a while, and then, you know, after a few hours, like, hey, you mind if I add you on Skype, or do you want to add me on Skype so we could talk? You know, something kind of chill like that. I could get behind that. But more often than not, when I'm approached first, like straight out of the gate, I just can't say yes. It throws up too many red flags in my mind. I just don't feel comfortable saying yes. And I honestly feel better approaching someone else first. So I'm sorry, but I can't say yes to that. I really am sorry. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to upset anyone on this, but at the same time, I can't go against what's in my instincts, as it were. I can't change that. I'm sorry. D-Man6575 asks, what kind of events are you thinking of doing that can involve the Frost community? I hadn't thought of you guys as a community. I thought of you as my subscribers and just generally awesome people. I don't know. I don't know what kind of events I might have in the future. This is one of them. I don't plan very far in the future, and it's kind of a failing of mine. I should plan more things in the future. Like streaming might be interesting if I could get it to work. Some other kind of live event. I don't know, but that's about it, really. I really don't know. I'm sorry. And the second question is also, what LPs are you thinking of doing in the near/far future? Well, in the near future, I plan on finishing up Parasite Eve 2. I plan on finishing up Samurai Warriors 2, and by finishing up I mean starting it and then finishing it up. Maybe one day I might go back into the Gauntlet Dark Legacy LP and maybe go back to finishing it, but it's highly unlikely. But maybe, you know, who knows, maybe. I wouldn't mind doing like Ace Combat 5 again, like I did years ago when I made it like I was acting like I was Blaze. Part of that is finding the time to actually do it, because the way I'd want to do it this time is actually do it all and then start uploading it. Because part of the problem is acting everything out, and it feels better if I'd feel better if I had it all done first. But beyond that, I really don't know. It's often a case of, I'm going to play this, or I'm going to LP this if I feel like it. XCOM, I want to do XCOM. XCOM and XCOM Enemy Unknown, or Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within. Those are going to be two separate LPs by themselves. Those are two completely separate LPs. Beyond that, I'm not sure. All I can say is just wait and see. Who knows what I'm going to come up with. I can promise it'll be good, though. I mean, I'll do the best I can, make the best stuff I can, but I do not know what I'm going to do. The Twilight Hunter asks, have you played any Tenchu games? Yes, I have. Next question, what do you think of PewDiePie, Toby Games, and any other famous gamer? Well, that's an interesting one. First of all, PewDiePie, can't stand him. And there is kind of a reason behind that. There was another YouTube celebrity who looks a lot like PewDiePie. He isn't PewDiePie, he's someone else. But he is someone that looks very much like PewDiePie, sounds a lot like PewDiePie. But some of the things he does, I don't approve of. He has this huge fan base, and he gives out advice to people. People who are very young, very impressionable, who come to him for help, and he doesn't do it well. I'm not going to say he abuses them, but let me paint this scenario for you. A person approached him for help, said that his family belittled him, his or her family, belittled them, didn't understand their feelings, made them feel like a piece of trash, like just utter filth. And he asked this guy for help and said, what can I do to help my family understand me? To understand that what I'm going through, to see things from my point of view, and hopefully not do these horrible things to me. And the guy's response was to basically tell him he was selfish for thinking of himself, for trying to convince his family to see things from his fault. He victim blamed. It was like blaming a rape victim for having a vagina. It's like, that's something that's beyond their control, and you're blaming them for it? This person has been emotionally beaten, needs help, is asking for help. This man is down a well, begging for someone to lower a rope, and you're blaming him for falling in the well. He doesn't need to be blamed, he needs help. And this guy didn't do it. He did the worst thing that he can do. And I hate that guy. And PewDiePie reminds me of him way too much. That, and just in general, I don't like PewDiePie. I've seen one or two of his videos, and I just... Ugh. He grates on my nerves. He kills my brain cells. I'm sorry. I know that may cost me some viewers. That is your opinion. If you like PewDiePie, great. Enjoy it. Go watch PewDiePie and have a grand old time. I won't stop you. If you ask me to watch PewDiePie with you, I'd have to say no. Toby Games, I think when I first saw this question, I did watch a little bit of it, and I'd have to say, not bad. Not sure if it's something for me, but not bad, not bad. He definitely has promise. And other famous gamers, for that, I'd say it's literally a trial basis. It's literally a person-by-person case. It really depends on each person. Some LPers, some famous gamers, I like. Some I don't. I judge it case by case. Like Total Biscuit. I used to really like Total Biscuit. I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty awesome. And then I remember in one of his videos, you know, he calls himself the Cynical Brit. One of the things he said, I forget exactly what it was, but he basically said, I have this opinion about this thing. And my opinion is, if you're one of these people that likes this kind of game, you're a fucking moron. You're an idiot, you're stupid. It's like, he insulted his fan base, and me. Because I was one of those people that liked that certain type of game. I don't remember what it was exactly, I just remember the insult. And I'm like, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not a complete moron. Yes, I like this kind of game, sure. But that doesn't make me a demi-human. You know what I mean? So, as far as famous gamers go, it's really a case-by-case basis. Our final set of questions comes from Jacob Farley. His first question is, will you get Samurai Warriors 4? You bet your sweet ass I'm gonna get Samurai Warriors 4. It's coming out in October. I'm getting that shit, son. Are you kidding me? It's coming out on the PS3, and it'll be the first Samurai Warriors game I get to play in HD. Now, I know Warriors at OG3 is technically the first when you think about it, because they took characters from Samurai Warriors 3 and put them in the game and blah, 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 blah. But it was a mishmash game. It had everybody from all the series. Samurai Warriors 4 is going to be every character from the entire Samurai Warriors series, including new characters, but everyone from the previous 3 games and the Extreme Legends games. All back. It's going to be the biggest cast in Samurai Warriors ever. So, yeah, I'm getting that shit. I'm not going to pre-order it. Well, if I do, it's not going to be from GameStop. That's for damn sure. They're not getting any more of my money if I can help it. Another game I'm going to get that's going to be coming out real soon, as a matter of fact, the beginning of July. Dynasty Warrior Gundam 4. Oh, hell yeah. I like me some Mobile Suits fighting. Finally, the last question, the very last, and the simplest, which I like. How old are you? Well, sir, I am 31 years old. I know I don't sound like it. I certainly don't look it. Certainly don't act like it, but I am 31 years old. Of course, this is going to change very, very soon. My birthday is coming up very shortly, and I will be 32 soon. So, there you go. I am an old man. Where am I? You need my tapioca pudding. So there you go. That's how old I am. I'm 31, gonna be 32. And that is it. That is the last question, boys and girls. Thank you for watching. Thank you for asking your questions. Thank you for 1,600 subscribers. And thank you for 6 years. Thank you all. And good night.